Hey guys, I'm Wilson from C-Scales, and in this video I'm going to be showing you the simplest way to understand and think about one of the cores of music production, which is mixing. I see a ton of videos explaining on how to mix using a bunch of different plugins and effects, without fully explaining what mixing even is and why it works. And this often leaves people confused on how to apply the techniques that they learn on their own tracks. So if this is what you're struggling with, don't worry. I'm going to break this mixing down real simple. I call this the box and ball method, and it's a way to both visualize mixing and apply techniques in a way that makes sense. So imagine a box in front of you. That box is going to be your mixing space, and it's where all your sounds exist. Mixing is placing sounds, aka the balls, in that box in front of you in a way that covers the entire space of the box. This box could be farther away from you or closer to you, but all that matters is that the sounds need to fit this space. A bad mix is simply when the balls don't fit the entire box, or appear awkwardly relative to the other sounds inside the box. Now, one thing to note is that the spacing of the sounds also matters, meaning whether the sounds overlap. So not only do the sounds need to fill the entire box, but they need to also have their individual placements within the space. Otherwise, you just get a track resembling more and more like white noise. So now this raises the question, how do you place your balls in the box? Well, there's three ways to move in the box: up, down, left, right, and front, back. So there's going to be three basic ways to place your ball in the box. EQ, which is going to be the up and down movement, panning, which is left and right, and volume, which is the front and back. Notice how I didn't say compression, reverb, or chorus, or any other plugins and effects. And this is because these effects either serve to create movement in the sound itself, or sense a space in the box. But they don't define the position in the box, which is important. I'm not going to go too much in depth about those plugins, but if you'd like to see more, please let me know in the comments below. So the next question you're probably wondering is how to define the box so that we don't place sounds awkwardly in the box. This all has to do with the relative distance with each of the sounds. The farther apart they sound with each other, the bigger the space, meaning the bigger the box. While the closer the sounds, the closer the space, the closer the box. Now, generally speaking, this means that to avoid awkward positioning, you need to place sounds in a way that's relative to the mix. A mix with a lot of distance is not going to have sounds that are in your face. Similarly, a mix that is in your face will generally not have sounds that are too far away. So to demonstrate the core mix functions, I'm going to be using the verse of That's What I Like by Bruno Mars to show you what the mix looks like in the box. And to show the movement in the box, I'm going to be moving around the polysynth sound using the three mixing techniques. So let's see if the song follows our simple mixing principles. You can hear that the track's mixing style is more in your face, which is typical of a pop genre, and as a result, you don't hear a lot of sounds that are super far away from the mix, or awkwardly placed outside from the other sounds. In fact, you don't even hear these distant lower frequency sounds until the later portions of the song, which is going to be in the bridge. You're also going to notice that the individual sounds are very brief, and they don't last a long period of time, and this is fine. A good mix is more concerned again with the feeling of the space rather than the length of the sounds. And finally, the last thing is the spacing of the sounds. The song actually does have some overlaps with the bass portions, offbeats, and the mids. Now this could be a problem for most tracks, but because of the short duration of the sounds, a lot of the overlaps don't actually happen within a given time frame. So most of the sounds don't actually collide with each other. As long as there's no constant overlaps, mixing sounds with similar frequencies should be fine. There are techniques to mix sounds with similar spacing and similar time frames, but I can cover that in a later video.